Hello and welcome back to another Slay the Spire stream. I'm your host, Vegetablebread, and I just alarmed my cat by suddenly speaking. She's like, oh no, something's happening. We're going to be starting off with Ironclad today. Got pretty far on Watcher yesterday. Ended up, I believe, dying to the heart. Is that what happened? Upgrade a card, Neo's Lament, remove 2 cards, or Boss Relic Swap. I never Boss Relic Swap on Ironclad, although I think Boss Relic Swaps is like almost mandatory on Watcher. I think it's better than most options on Silent, and I'm coming around a little bit on Defect, so I'm kind of thinking the Boss Relic Swaps are almost always the best option, but Ironclad stands strong. Burning Blood is just too good. So I don't think that's a good option for Ironclad. Upgrade a card probably goes on Bash usually. I could see Strike too, if you are specifically optimizing for Log Villain. Neo's Lament is really good if we've got a lot of question marks, and removing 2 cards is not good, because you want to keep those strikes for killing Gremlin Knob. We do have a Snipe Path. I said that Neo's Lament is good if you have lots of question marks, and not if you have a Snipe Path. And the reason I said it that way is because if you have... So as Ironclad, if you take Neo's Lament, enemies will heal you, right? You'll heal for 6 per fight for the early fights, because they won't do any damage, and you'll heal for 6 at the end of the fight. And the difference between 0 and -6 is -6. You'll saturate the value of your Burning Blood really quickly, because you'll heal to full. But if you run into question marks, you can run into question marks like Golden Idol, or like Spin the Wheel that stabs you, or like Scrap Ooze, or like Shining Light. There's lots of question marks that injure you. So if you take Neo's Lament, you can take those more aggressively, get injured in the question mark, and then heal in the hallway fights. So like the ideal setup for Neo's Lament is like a fight, 4 question marks, and then 2 elites, right? Because then you go to the question marks, get hurt, go to the get 2 elites for free. We don't quite have that here, but not too far off. Looks like it's going to be a maximum of 1 elite or 2 elites in Act 1. We can either get this guy and that guy, or one of these 2, and then one of these 3. But you can't line up anything else, it looks like. So we're kind of choosing between like starting here, and I think Fire Elite Fire convinces us that this center path is the correct one. It also has a lot more options after this fire. So I think we'll take Neo's Lament and start that way. Upgrading cards is not great, removing 2 cards is not great, so Neo's Lament is the pick with the potential snipe and some question marks. Although every potential snipe has question marks, right? So perhaps that's redundant. Spot Weakness gives us a little bit of strength scaling to start off with. It's not particularly good against Gremlin Knob. Let's take a quick peek and see what the boss is. It's Hexaghost. Hexaghost attacks frequently, but not always. He doesn't attack on turn like 1 and 5, I think. So Spot Weakness can miss. Spot Weakness is a nice floor 1 pick, though, because it gives the deck a clear identity right from the get-go. It's like, this is a strength scaling deck. And most Ironclad decks want to be strength scaling decks anyway, so it's a good place to start. Cleave is also an option here. Cleave is really good against specifically sentries. It's just nice to pick an attack on floor 1, upgrade the deck's damage a little bit, and it's really good in hard pool hallway fights. Since we're doing Neo's Lament, we're not likely to encounter hard pool hallway fights anytime soon. Assuming these 3 question marks aren't fights and that we get a snipe here, we'll actually be doing an easy pool fight after the split, and we might only do like 1 hard pool fight in the whole act. So not really, it doesn't make a lot of sense to optimize for that. But it is still good against sentries. I think it's going to be Spot Weakness here, though. Here is a potential opportunity to trade some health for a bit of power. If we take the regret, we'd end up holding onto it until probably here. We'd probably end up going through that path. So we'd take it through the snipe, which is presumably not too challenging. We'd have to take it through this hallway fight, and then another question mark here. If we do fail to snipe, if one of these question marks is a fight, then having a regret in our hand during an actual fight would cost us quite a bit of health. But there are also events that can remove curses, so I think we're going to grab this because we're going through so many events. And we're also at full health. We got a Vajra. Excellent. Sure, I'll transform a strike. If you transform a regret, you get another curse. Regret is a fairly bad curse, though. There's lots of curses that aren't as bad. Writhe. Shoot. There's one that's just unplayable. I don't know the names of the curses very well, unfortunately. There are some worse curses. Normality. The one that gives you weak, I would generally consider to be worse. The one that gives you frail is much worse. But regret is among the worst ones. But I think we're just going to do strike. Flex, huh? So we got Vajra Flex and Spot Weakness, so we're highly indexed into strength scaling. Since we have a Flex in the deck, we're going to be looking for Orange Pellets or Clockwork Souvenir. And we probably want to get that Flex upgraded. Also looking for Limit Break. Okay, so this is... is this a fight? Oh, this is a fight. Okay, I thought that was a question mark fight for a second. But it is not. Disarm is excellent, mostly at Act 2, but also against Hexaghost, so we'll grab that. It is a little bit concerning that we haven't taken an attack yet. And we turned one of our strikes into a flex, so we're pretty far behind in terms of offensive capabilities. Ooh, and we did stumble into a question mark fight. So we really, really, really need an attack here, and unfortunately all we're being offered is Clash. We could take Metallicize and hope that it's Sentries. Boy. Feel No Pain. That's a definite archetype we could build towards. We got to Disarm. Both of those are powers, so they both proc Orange Pellets, which is something we're theoretically looking for. We're probably taking one of the powers. They're both defensive tools, neither one of them does any offense. If we have Vajra, then we could do, like if we had access to Shivs, then Feel No Pain would be excellent. It's hard to imagine getting access to Shivs. There aren't really any Shiv type cards for Ironclad. Probably the closest one is the attack that shuffles the Daze into your deck. It feels kind of like a Shiv. Has both exhaust and zero cost attack halves, but they're different rather than the same. I think I'll take a Feel No Pain regardless. Both of these are super good at sentries and not good at much else currently. We're at full health, so I guess we'll upgrade. Seems like Spot Weakness gets a pretty important upgrade. Disarm as well. Like Spot Weakness, try to outscale whoever it is. Hopefully not Gremlin Mob. Okay, we're super good at this fight. We do need to last for a long time though, so I think we're going to double defend. And we're going to disarm mostly just to make sure that Regret doesn't do 2 damage to us. And hopefully that was the most painful turn. And we're going to start getting dazes to power up our Feel No Pain here. We're blocked out whether or not we play the defense. And we are really not doing damage very quickly though. Alright. we have a ton of strength. I forgot about that. Doesn't really matter who we target, since we're mostly depending on the dazes to block for us. Hey Guitar, how's it going? I'm doing good. This run's off to kind of a tricky start. We started with Niall's Lament, and then we failed to get the elite snipe here, so we ended up losing like 40 health. I should have put the strike into this guy. It wasn't blocking for anything last turn. It would have blocked for like 8 there. It was a mistake. Oh my gosh. Still no offensive options. I guess we're taking a Combust. Due to the complete lack of attacks in the deck. We're like strongly a strength scaling deck, so picking a Combust seems a little bit silly. Maybe Combust is too much of a panic pick and we should pick Shrug It Off. That was our last elite for a while. Our next one's like way over here, so maybe we have time to get more attacks. We'll go through a fight in a shop before we get there. Alright, I'll take Shrug It Off and just trust. 31. We're going through another campfire before the elite, so I'll take another upgrade. Disarm needs it for the Hexaghost fight. I think I want to go to this question mark, so one of these two. Nunchaku. Well, strength scaling in Nunchaku seems great. So we probably want to find like an anger, if we can. I guess it's Disarm, Shrug, Strike. Oh, okay. I guess Shrug first, right? Draw first. Ink Bottle doing 1 damage to me. We could kill... Oh wait, no we can't. We're off by 1. Let's go ahead and try to preserve our health total here. Should be able to get away with that. Okay, finally we're getting attacks. Sword Boomerang is exactly the same sort of strength scaling we need. We've already got rid of a couple of strikes, so I think Perfecto Strike is off the table. Actually, we only got rid of 1 strike. But Sword Boomerang is pretty much perfect, so... Well, we definitely want to remove the curse, right? Yeah, this is not a choice. We want to forget our regret. Okay, feeling a lot more confident now. I think we're going to take another upgrade. We got here in decent style, and we got a nice pickup in the Sword Boomerang. Sword Boomerang is a little bit sketchy against Lagavulin, since it can get reduced down to 0 damage pretty easily. But we have strength scaling, so I'm not too afraid of that happening. Should be able to avoid that. I think the main considerations here for upgrade are Flex, Feel No Pain, and Sword Boomerang. If we ever get a Flex combo, we're going to want Flex to be upgraded. Feel No Pain is probably our scaling defensive plan, and Sword Boomerang is our scaling offensive plan at the moment. I think we'll go for Sword Boomerang. We're pretty far behind on damage, so it makes sense to try and fix that. I was planning on going to the shop to remove the curse, but the curse is now gone. So we could fight an elite and then a fight if we wanted to. If we feel like we're behind on card rewards. That's a reasonable option. We're also a little bit low on gold for this to be an efficient pathing decision. We're guaranteed to be able to buy a shop relic though, and we are looking for shop relics, orange pellets, and clockwork souvenir. So I think I will go to the shop. I think it's pretty valuable just to visit. That's not those. Dark Embrace can go along with Feel No Pain. Kind of a shame we're missing out on Shuriken. Shuriken plus like Nunchaku and strength scaling seems like an excellent Ironclad plan. What if we just pick like Dark Embrace Havoc? I'm just trying to like exhaust the whole deck except for like a spot weakness and a sword boomerang. It's fun. I don't think Havoc's correct though. We could like Dark Embrace card remove. Dark Embrace is not going to be good at the Elite fight. No matter what the Elite fight is. And card remove's kind of suspect too if we're removing a strike. Maybe we remove a defend. I do like Dark Embrace. So let's do that. I think I will remove a defend. Maybe we remove the flex. Yeah, actually we should probably remove the flex. Orange Pellets is fun and all, but Flex is not a good card if you don't get it, so it makes sense to get rid of it. It is kind of good with Ink Bottle. But even if we get a Limit Break now, I still wouldn't want the Flex in the deck, because we have Spot Weakness and we have Vajra, so Limit Break is always going to do something. We don't need Flex. Okay. It's Lagavulin. Bad turn to draw Spot Weakness, unfortunately. Disarm, I would like to wake him up with Bash. Oh wait, Bash does a little bit too much damage. Okay, so we'll wait a turn. Develop Field No Pain. Bottle proc for next turn. I guess I'll just play Dark Embrace. Kind of ruins the Ink Bottle, but we hope we don't draw a Sword Boomerang. Okay. Play Defend for Ink Bottle. Alright, Bash Sword Boomerang, that's pretty nice. And Spot Weakness, excellent. We could Speed Pot Double Defend to block out. We have a good chance of getting a potion here, so spending a potion is pretty reasonable. He's already been disarmed, and we don't have any source of weak or anything, so he's just going to hit for just as hard next turn. Yeah, so maybe we spend the Speed Pot next turn, because currently our strikes are doing 32 damage, and I don't really want to skip it. So I think we just take 17. Maybe the colorless potion blocks. Apotheosis, huh? Artifact is relevant in this fight. Swift Strike is nice right now because we've got Strength and Vulnerable, but Apotheosis is just as good as Swift Strike because it adds 3 damage to each strike. So I think we have Apotheosis. Apotheosis also blocks for 3 and draws a card because of the exhaust. I think Double Defend almost blocks out, so that's nice. And we should be able to kill him before he rotates back into attacking. Yep. Okay. Not too bad. Mercury Hourglass. Okay. This is Power Through. Dark Embrace into Power Through Second Wind is a classic Ironclad card draw block shenanigan. Maybe we'll pick up like an Evolve or something. I think one of the strongest features of Ironclad is that they have status mitigation in the form of like Evolve and like Second Wind and stuff. So anything that sort of centers around that synergy package I think is generally pretty good. Act 2 elites start having statuses, and then Act 3 elites, Act 3 bosses, and Act 4 elites and Act 4 bosses all have statuses, so it's going to be relevant pretty soon. And we're against Hexaghost, who also has statuses, although this is probably our last card reward, so... Or it's certainly our last card reward, so we don't actually have any status mitigation so far. But Power Through is just an excellent standalone card, so don't mind taking that. 24 is kind of an unfortunate life total. Means he's going to be hitting us for 18 on turn 2. We might be able to block that. I think we want to upgrade Dark Embrace. It's going to be really difficult to play Dark Embrace as is, but if we get it upgraded, it gets a lot easier to play. There's also an argument for Feel No Pain, if we're going to be building around that, which it seems like we are. It seems like we want the extra marginal value, but Dark Embrace kind of gets like twice as good, because it costs half as much, whereas Feel No Pain only gets like 33% better. So Dark Embrace just has a much higher magnitude upgrade. Okay, go ahead and get that developed, do a little bit of damage. Alright, we can block out here pretty easily. Spending Power Through is a little bit of a... I'm not sure if it's correct. Shrug It Off Double Defend blocks out, but it's very slow. Let's see. I think I do want to Shrug It Off because I can draw a Disarm. So let's start with Shrug It Off, no potion. Okay, we didn't draw it. We could just take 10 and develop Bash. And then next turn we have Spot Weakness Sword Boomerang to do a bunch of damage. And Disarm to block. I think I like that. Boy, taking 10 though, I don't know if that's correct. You know what, next turn is going to be good whether we Bash or not. So I'll just double defend. It's slow, but I think we'll catch up. Okay. Alright, he's only attacking for 6, so we can block out with that. Anytime we can avoid playing Power Through in a long fight, we probably want to. Continue scaling up, look for some more cards. Hit him. Alright. Dash Double Strike, that's a turn. Alright, looks like it's time to Power Through. We could just not Power Through and just Bash Sword Boomerang. It's 25 damage and it extends the vulnerable for 2 turns. There's not really any value left for Feel No Pain. This is doing a heck of a lot of damage. 18 times 4 is 40 plus 32, which is 72. 72 minus 9 is 63. 102 minus 63 is 39. So we'd be leaving him at 39 with 2 fires left to go. Seems like we'd probably get there. Actually, maybe not. We've drawn most of the damage. Alright, I think I will take the extra 25 damage, just to make sure we get there. Actually, wait, we have lethal right now with Fire Pod if we want it. Yeah. I don't know, saving health at the end of the act is nowhere near as good as having a potion at the beginning of the next act, right? The beginning of Act 2 could be pretty tough, so I think I'll try and save the Fire Pot instead of the health. This should be lethal, yeah, okay. You can get a pot from this fight as well. Feedfire says exhaust on it. Really, really good with the Dark Embrace Feel No Pain archetype. It's one of the ways of dealing with statuses that we're going to put into our own deck. It also just like wins hallway fights. I don't remember who was supporting this, who was saying this in chat. It was, I think it was over a week ago at this point, but somebody was saying that the Watcher card, the Blasphemy, the Watcher card that puts you into Divinity and then makes you lose the game, was the best card in the game. I think Fiendfire is one of the many cards that's better than Blasphemy. I think Fiendfire is like, it wins you hallway fights and boss fights, and like does a bunch of other stuff. Fiendfire is like one of the best cards in the game, for sure. Okay. We have 2 potions. They're both fairly high value, so this is a definite place where we could pick Sacred Bark. I would like some energy. How do we feel about Act 2 elites? We're pretty good at them, actually. We scale up pretty quickly. We have Fiendfire for assassinating slavers. We have Disarm for book. We have a bit of block. Shrug it off, power through. Power through in particular is quite nice. So we could target a bunch of elites. We could probably take 3 elites. We've got good potions too. I've been coming around on Philosopher's Stone. There was a long period in my Slay the Spire career when I would never ever pick Philosopher's Stone because I just considered it suicide. But then I like had a boss relic swap that gave me a Philosopher's Stone and then won, and I was like, oh wait, maybe I need to be picking this more. It still seems really dangerous. Philosopher's Stone like is really good in a deck where you are really good at hallway fights, right? Because the place where Philosopher's Stone is most dangerous is like multi-attack hallway fights. Because like against bosses and stuff, like it matters against the heart. It makes the heart do 15 extra damage on his multi-attack, but by the time you're fighting the heart, you need to have already found a way to mitigate quite a bit of damage. So like, for example, Philosopher's Stone is adding 15 damage, but Disarm is removing 45 damage from every multi-attack, so it's like, just pick an extra Disarm, and then Philosopher's Stone is fine. You have 1 extra energy. Disarm's great anyway. So, yeah. But do we need energy right now? Unclear. We have the Dark Embrace, so we definitely could like end up drawing a bunch of cards, and that needs a bunch of energy, which Shrug it off to. Decent amount of card draw. If we end up picking an Evolve, we would probably need energy to keep up. We don't have an Evolve right now, though. Just like Sacred Bark is so good with these potions. Doing 40 damage to somebody with a fire potion is just nuts. It just like assassinates a slaver. If we get like fire potion and like Fiendfire on turn 1, we can like kill 2 slavers before they even attack, potentially. But we don't have like, we don't have Potion Belt, we don't have White Beast Statue, so like those will get used up, and then Sacred Bark will not be very good, which is sort of the problem with Sacred Bark. It makes you better at bosses, presuming that you can afford to save the potions for the bosses. But I don't know if this is really a deck that needs to get better at bosses. It seems like with the sort of scaling we have access to, the spot weakness disarm thing, it seems like we're already fairly good at bosses, and we need help at hallway fights. So I think both Sacred Bark and Slaver Scholar are a little bit worse because of that. So I think we're actually going to pick Philosopher's Stone. Okay. Alright, it is Hyper Beam guy. We had a long period where we were looking for Orange Pellets and Clockwork Souvenir in Act 1. We're no longer really looking for those because we removed the Flex. They'd still be fine, but just like for removing random debuffs. So we're not like highly focused on getting to an early shop, plus we don't have that much money, so early shops are not a priority. I would like to kill 2 elites though. And the initially appealing path is this one, because it has 4 question marks, and Act 2 question marks are really good, which leads us into a Fire Elite, which is also really nice. But then it forces us into a Mega Elite, which is probably not something we want. So if we don't want to get forced into a Mega Elite, we have to take this Elite. Oh wait, there's a path around them if we fight this guy. So one of these two, probably this one because of the Fire Elite Fire situation. And that means that we're taking this guy as the early elite, which means we are going to a shop. Okay, fine. Well, I guess we take the 3 question mark in the shop path. Alright, Chosen. Well, Dark Embrace is insane in the Chosen fight, so start with that. We could, like, Strength Pot, Spot Weakness, Sword Boomerang, Fiend Fire, which might be lethal. So we'd end up with 6 extra strength, so we'd end up with 7. This would end up hitting for 40, and then this would end up hitting for 14 times 3, which is 42. So we'd be off by 3. Darn. Is it lethal the other way with the Fire Pot? So we could Spot Weakness, go up to 5 strength. This hits for 8 times 4, which is 20 minus 8, which is 12. Wait. What? 8 times 4. It's 40 minus 8. Okay, so it's 32. And then this hits for 12 times 4. 12 times 4 is 48 again. 32 plus 48 is 70, so Fire Pot would be lethal. Okay. I mean, at the beginning of an act, you have a 40% potion chance, so it's a pretty decent chance we'll get a potion after this specific fight, so it's silly to hold on to both, despite the fact that they're both good. The Chosen fight can also take a lot of health, too. Alright, Sever Soul is one of those cards that removes statuses. It's also quite bad. Generally you're looking for Fiend Fires and Second Winds and never Sever Souls. I wish that Sever Soul Plus made it cost 1 instead of doing an extra damage. That'd be neat. Combust Plus is a card. It says plus on it. It's never bad. We don't really have any, like, power synergy stuff. We don't have, like, a Mummified Hand or anything. Heavy Blade, we have quite a bit of strength scaling. We've been leaning on that Sword Boomerang for quite a while. It doesn't really seem like Heavy Blade fits in super well, though. Just in terms of, like, energy. With the Dark Embrace and the Fiend Fire and stuff. Seems kind of a clunky card. If it were upgraded, we'd definitely take it, but I think unupgraded, probably not. I don't know. It's not wrong, for sure. It seems like our long-term plan is probably to thin out the deck and then Spot Weakness. And feel no pain to block, Spot Weakness for defense, for offense scaling. I could see that paying off with either Sword Boomerang or Heavy Blade. Yeah, Sever Soul does exhaust wounds. It's just also a bad card. It's really expensive. We do have 4 energy, but Sever Soul just seems like a waste. But you are correct. Sever Soul is one of the 3 Ironclad cards that exhausts statuses. And you know, anything that says exhaust on it is good if you have a Feel No Pain and a Dark Embrace, right? Like this could generate a bunch of block, could draw a bunch of cards. Yeah, I think all these cards are pickable, but I think I'm actually going to skip. I don't think I'm excited enough about any of them. I don't know. Skip seems wrong. But I think I'm gonna do it. Okay. Healing's not very useful. I do think we need to add more cards. So let's add a card and see what it is. There's the second win. There we go. We've been rewarded for our patience. True Grit, Shockwave, also good cards in this deck. Another shot at Heavy Blade, Rampage, if we want a different way to scale. Excuse me. Now that Stay Hydrated bot is gone, who will remind us to drink water? I think this is probably second wind by a mile. Second wind is like specifically the best card that we're looking for. And we found it. Ooh, free card remove. We are being forced into a shop here in a second, so it's not... Skipping here is not without consideration. I think card remove is among the best things we can do currently, so let's do it. It's a fight! Disarm doesn't work, but gets rid of an artifact charge, I guess. Good power through Fiendfire. It's pretty sexy. Ends up doing 4, 5, 6 times 8 damage. 6 times 8 is 48. So he would end up with 21 armor. Hold on just a second, let me finish my tea up. I don't like that that plan skips Sword Boomerang, but I guess it was only doing 16 damage. There were 6 cards in hand, so Strength Thought would add 12 damage. It's a bit. Next turn is probably Feel No Pain, Spot Weakness, Second Wind. I don't really want to stun the Strength Pot. We're doing an Elite soon. We did not draw the spot weakness. I guess we could Dark Embrace, Feel No Pain, Second Wind, and then we would draw it. But then we would block for less. So Spot Weakness, Feel No Pain blocks, Feel No Pain, Second Wind blocks for 6 per card in hand. We have 3 cards remaining in hand. So we're blocking for 18. He's hitting for 24, so we take 6. I think that's fine. Oh. Crap. Okay, well, nothing we can do about it now. Alright, Second Wind does most of the blocking. Yeah, that was not good. Let's just scale up and block out. We currently have a 7-card deck, so we should get there pretty soon. Spot Weakness, Bash, Strike Lethal, it's just going to do 13 plus 11 plus 8. 13 plus 11 is 24, plus 8 is 32. Not quite. So then we're going to want to Power Through, Defend. I guess just Power Through. Power Through is really scary with this thin of a deck. I guess one of the cards in the deck is Second Wind, though, so it's not that scary. Oh, we have Second Wind now. Okay. Oh, I should have bashed. I didn't realize the Nunchaku was going off. What's this card? It's Bash. Okay, we have lethal. Alright, took a little bit of damage there. Probably more than we needed to. We don't need to pick Sever Soul because we have Second Wind. Sever Soul is like an emergency replacement for Second Wind, basically. Alright, let me actually finish the tea, and then I'll start drinking again. Sorry for the ASMR tea making stream. Nobody's been redeeming the exercise rewards. I'm gonna redeem it myself. Yeah. Well, you see, I have a secret mission to get more fit, and I was hoping that chat would help me. You know, it's so all of my channel points rewards are like secret missions, right? Because it's like I want to hang out with my cat, so I put a channel point reward in there so that I get to hang out with my cat. Talking about X is just like it's an opportunity for me to pontificate about stuff, which is the whole point of doing this stream, basically. And playtest is like secretly I need people to do the playtest, so it's like an opportunity for people to intentionally buy in to doing something that actually I need. It's like a favor to me, basically, but I do appreciate it. I'm a game developer, so I am currently making a game, and I need people to help me playtest it. So if you redeem that reward, oh my goodness, Dora's gone in for a bunch of exercise rewards. Dora, can you count how many you're doing and then tell me at the end how many I should put on my little sheet? And then I will also just exercise for the rest of my life. Okay. Yeah, let's skip. Not a lot of money for this shop. It's kind of unfortunate. We don't really need Inflame. We don't really need any of these, so I'm kind of glad we didn't have enough money. So we can just buy card remove, or like a flex pot maybe. Panic button's kind of cute. If we did end up getting like orange pellets. Okay, here I'll count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. That'll keep me in exercise for a while. Appreciate it. 34. That's a whole different number. We could almost afford Ancient Pot and Flex Pot, which is fun. Flex Pot is super good since we have Sword Boomerang, but we already have Strength Scaling, so we don't like necessarily need to like jump on that immediately. If it's Slavers and we draw Sword Boomerang on turn 1, I would love to have a Flex Pot to go along with that. But if we're going to spend 54, I'd want something to do for the other 60, because card remove is pretty efficient here. Hey, Sir Animal. Not too much. Just excited about doing playtests later today. Talking to chat, hanging out. We don't want to buy more potions because our potion slots would be full. Can't afford a card remove if we buy Flex Pot. So we could buy Havoc. Seems bad. Armaments Headbutt are purchasable. Thunderclap as well. We're really behind on relics. We don't have very many relics, which is kind of weird. Aha, yes. Yeah, I think I actually think this is really interesting because I've noticed that if you do something, if you make a comment about a card, occasionally somebody in chat will be like, "Ooh, don't tell first day, and you don't like accuracy," right? It's like all the Slay the Spire streamers have their own little theories about the game that are different, and it's kind of fun that we're all basically figuring out the meta together. And obviously there's people who know more about it, like the Terrences and life coaches of the world who are just really going super deep and thinking hard about everything, and getting super high win percentages. And I consider myself more of an experimenter or a memer than an actual win rate optimizer. So I'm kind of in the same camp as Baylor Lord or Jorbs or something. But yeah, it's fun to watch information propagate through this weird little ecosystem, and I'm wrong about a bunch of stuff, so 100% it requires you to have an open mind. But I don't know what that stuff is yet. Yesterday, I had this experience where I played Vault against Time Lord while I was at 11. He was at 11 on the clock. And for me, I was I have no idea what's going to happen. I assumed that it was just going to be his turn at the end of it, but it wasn't. It was my turn at the end of it. We skipped his turn. He still got his strength, but we skipped his turn. And then I went to I raided Redbeardy, and I was all proud of the new thing I learned. But he 100% knew that already. He was not surprised. And, like, apparently it's on the wiki, so I could have just read the wiki, but I didn't know that. Yeah, I think Redbeardy's probably a better player than I am. I don't know. Not really. It doesn't really matter. I think we're just taking card remove. It's hard for me to find the line for flex spot that's better. And it seems like we're fairly strong right now. So flex spot is definitely a, like, power spike right now sort of pick, whereas card remove is a Act 4 optimization. That also helps right now. Alright, let's go fight this thing. It is Book of Stabbing. It's probably the best one. People are always surprised when you say that, like, Book of Stabbing is the easiest one, but we have a Disarm, which is super, super good against Book of Stabbing. Probably using Power Through and Shrug It Off here. No, maybe not. Maybe it's just Power Through, Feel No Pain, Strike, Defend. Because Power Through Defend blocks for 20, and he's only hitting for 16, so we don't need to draw a card. Okay, I will drink the Strength Pot, though. Book of Stabbing is a dangerous one for Philosopher's Stone purposes. Also, we do have to draw the Disarm. There we go, we did it. Probably Sword Boomerang Second Wind. Second Wind generates 8 block and gets rid of a Defend. Sword Boomerang does 40 damage. Dark Embrace Fiendfire draws 3 cards, does 42 damage. One of the cards is Bash, that's not useful. If we just Fiendfire, we block for a little bit more. We block for 12 instead of 9. I think I'd like to draw 3 cards. Aha! We did the right thing. Down to a 10-card deck here. I think we're just playing them all. We are in a little bit of danger of wounding out here. But we have the second wind, so we should be okay. Lantern. True Grit seems like it's in the deck. We can't rely on Second Wind to do all the exhausting. Well, we do have Second Wind and Fiendfire. Maybe we can depend on Second Wind to do all the exhausting. This deck is very odd. Let's see, if we, so we've card removed quite a bit of it. After we do a couple of cycles, what cards are left? The strikes we can't get rid of, so 1, 2, 3, 4, we want to keep that one. That's gone. That's gone. 5, 6, 7. So there's 8 cards that are sort of permanent cards. So we're basically drawing, like, I don't know what that is. 70% of our deck every turn. Drawing 5/8 of the deck, and if that part of the deck contains Power Through Second Wind, we're extremely happy about that, right? Power Through Second Wind is like all we need. How much does Power Through Second Wind block for? If it's just hitting itself, I guess we'd have to spot weakness with that sometimes. But assuming we only exhaust the wounds, it blocks for 15 plus 10 plus 6. So it ends up blocking for 31. That's like a... It's not going to block a Hyper Beam. It's not going to block the Heart's multi-attack on his second cycle, but it's a pretty good amount to block. And if we get more copies of Feel No Pain, that scales up pretty quickly. I think we're actually pretty happy just, like, not adding True Grit. Although True Grit, we can just, like, feed into the Second Wind if we want to get rid of it. It doesn't really count as a permanent card. It's not upgraded, though. I guess True Grit helps us get online. Blocks in hallway fights and stuff. Okay. What are we doing with this fire? It looks like we're probably upgrading, unless this is a Snake Plant and he takes 30 health from us or something. Nuclear Battery or Inserter. I think it's dependent on context. A lot of times Inserter's better. Inserter's they kind of do the opposite thing, right? Inserter is like, it scales up your like barrage for bosses, right? And Nuclear Battery is like, it's like a lantern for hallway fights, basically. If you have a lot of compiled drivers in your deck, then Nuclear Battery is very nice because you can draw 2 cards on turn 1. If you have a barrage and no capacitors, then clearly it's Inserter, right? If you're trying to like Frost Orb focus combo the heart, and you don't have an obvious source of orb slots, then Inserter is great. If you have a Consume, you probably want to pick Inserter. But Nuclear Battery can be good too. Nuclear Battery is generally worse, I would say. So like, totally free of context, which one would I rather have as a Meow benefit? I'd say Inserter. But Nuclear Battery is also good in some situations. But really, context is king. So ignore my advice for most situations. Gosh, I can't figure out if I want to put this True Grit in the deck. The only really good targets for True Grit are the strikes and the defends. You know what it is, though? I don't know if it's advice. I mean, there's lots of weird little grammar tricks like that, right? Where it's like, the wise man knows nothing, right? It's like, well, does the wise man know that he knows nothing? I don't know. As a non-wise man, who am I to say? Okay, so I think I'm going to add True Grit to the deck. The reason being, currently we have like an 8-card deck after all the shenanigans happen. True Grit helps us get to a 5-card deck because we can have True Grit exhaust a strike or a bash and get those out of the way, so that we're just like spot weakness, sword boomerang every turn. It is Snake Plant. Okay. Well, let's kill him. He does not intend to attack, but I don't want to lose spot weakness, so I think we're just going to Dark Embrace, spot weakness, second wind to draw 2 cards. Bash or True Grit the bash? I think bash. And True Grit nothing. There's the disarm. Feel the Pain Fiendfire blocks for a ton. We also lose our sword boomerang, but we probably don't need that in this fight. And now we have a power through. This turn is getting kind of complicated. I don't really trust the deck to block next turn with 2 defends. So I think I want to draw this hand now, so that we can get back to this stuff. Actually, do we block out? We only generate like 12 block here. Hits us for 18. So maybe we do just power through, shrug it off. Blocks for 17. Okay. We can Feed Fire. Let's just lose the Shrug It Off to the Feed Fire. I'd rather not, like, shrug it off and then be forced to play the, like, spot weakness or whatever. Second wind. Okay. We could power through True Grit to make sure True Grit is guaranteed to hit a good target. Or we could just True Grit. Losing power through is not a huge deal. Excellent. Oh. Neither of these does anything. Gonna need some more strength if we're gonna pull that off. And now he's not attacking! Oh, what a jerk. I think we're gonna spot weakness sword boomerang second wind, just to get rid of the strike wound, or defend wound. The reason for the ordering is so that we can play strike first, which optimizes for malleable procs. We get him? We got him. We should play other cards to get ink bottle back. A fruit juice. Excellent. Second disarm. Second disarm is like literally exactly what I called out when I was talking about Philosopher's Stone. Seems like it's really good in the deck. It's good against the heart. Oh, I'm supposed to be doing exercise when I get card rewards. Duh. It's good against the heart. It's good against anybody who multi-attacks, which includes most Act 2 elites, with the exception of slavers. Although slavers are 50% of the next elite fight. 50% of the probability pool for the next elite fight. I totally lost track of how many times I was supposed to lift these weights. So we'll just stop there. Yeah, weak disarm is good. Okay, it looks like we're going to this fire. And right, so we have to choose if we're going for this guy and that path or this path. I think presumably this path. How often do you skip choosing a card? As often as you can reasonably afford to. So if you have to choose between... Okay, let's consider this hypothetical. Let's say you've got a deck that's really good, and you can like beat the heart with it, and you could choose between either that deck or a deck with exactly the same cards but twice as many of them. Which one would you choose? Well, the one you'd choose is the one that has just one copy of each card. And the reason you choose that is because it's more consistent. So you draw 5 cards a turn, and you'd never draw like 2 copies of one thing and 2 copies of another thing that end up being a bad combo, right? You get to cycle through your deck really quickly, and you can sort of consistently do what the deck is trying to do, whatever that thing is. Yeah, there are some exceptions to that, right? There are things that scale with deck size, like Mind Blast and Perfected Strike, but those are pretty far outliers. Those are not usually what the deck is trying to do. You kind of know if you're in one of those situations. So whenever you can, if you can beat the challenges that are in front of you without choosing a card, you should skip it. Question mark rooms are also difficult to evaluate and also contextual. Generally, question mark rooms are really good. Generally, they're better than hallway fights. There are some exceptions to that. In Act 1, generally you want to fight exactly 3 hallway fights before you fight your first elite. The 3 hallway fights constitute the easy pool, so they're generally challenges you'll be able to overcome, although Jawworm is in there too. Sometimes he bites you for 20. So the easy pool are things you'll be able to accomplish, and they give you card rewards that give you attacks that help you kill Gremlin Knob. But outside of basically that context, question marks are usually better than hallway fights. Question marks can give you elites, they can like heal you, they can card remove, they can do all kinds of neat stuff. They can also hurt you, and they can be fights themselves. But particularly in Act 2, question marks are a big opportunity to boost your deck's power, particularly things like apparitions and bites, and agent writing. But again, it's contextual. Also, sometimes you have a relic that makes you want to go through question marks. What's it called? Tiny Chest is the most obvious example. Let's upgrade something. Field No Pain, I want to get upgraded. It's kind of a weird reason. It's good, like just because it makes the deck like 33% more efficient at turning exhaust into block. But also, if we get a Dolly's Mirror, we're going to want to put that Dolly's Mirror on a Field No Pain, which seems like it's really unlikely, but it's actually, it definitely could happen. There's actually a couple of duplicate effects. There's an event that does it too. And we really, really want like 3 copies of Feel No Pain Plus by the time we fight the heart. So if we get 1 now, then that's 1 down. Other good upgrades: Disarm, True Grit, Second Wind. Those are sort of the things we're thinking about. Since we have 2 copies of Disarm, we're not really too concerned with getting the second one upgraded. True Grit's upgrade is pretty huge because you get to pick the card. But generally, you're never like forced into doing something really bad with True Grit minus. You can kind of control that. And Second Wind is a big source of our block, but it doesn't really need to get upgraded to be a big source of block. It mainly just needs to exhaust the cards. Okay. I think we're going to go left. We actually don't need to make that decision yet, but that's what's happening. So Ancient Tea Set's going to be great here. We have a Fire before this Elite and a Fire before this counter, so we'll get some extra energy there. I could consider skipping this for Sapphire Key. You do want to skip for Sapphire Key if you can, because the boss can give you Curse Key. So particularly if you're in a situation where it looks like you're going to need an Energy Relic, then picking up Sapphire Key is good, because if you get Curse Key, you're probably going to want to skip your next chest. However, we are already a 4 energy deck, so going up to 5 energy is not super necessary. Although we do have Dark Embrace, so we can definitely spend all 5 energy on turboing through the deck and drawing really quickly. One of the reasons we would skip Ancient Tea Set is we already have Lantern. So going up to 7 energy on the first turn is a bit nuts. So I'm not sure we really need that. I don't know if we're going to be able to spend that efficiently. Like, being able to spend that efficiently basically depends on finding, like, Dark Embrace on the first turn. So I think we are actually going to skip Ancient Tea Set here, even though we don't really need Curse Key, just because Ancient Tea Set itself is not that good. Yeah, you know, we had a Flex, too. So we could have had, like, Flex Whirlwind with 7 energy on turn 1, but we got rid of the Flex. We haven't found the Whirlwind, so... Dream Crushed. This is interesting. We could get a Writhe and then immediately take it to a shop and remove it. Although we don't have enough money for that. Normally I say that Writhe isn't that bad, because it doesn't like hurt you or anything. And pretty frequently you're either playing Silent or you have like if you're playing Watcher, you have an Alpha Plus, right? Like you have some of your energy accounted for on turn 1 already. So it doesn't really matter if you draw a Curse on turn 1. Or you have like Bag of Preparedness or something, so you get a bunch of extra cards, so the Curse doesn't matter. We're not in that situation. In fact, we're in a bit of the opposite situation, where we draw exactly 5 cards on turn 1, and we have an extra energy. I don't believe you can obtain a membership card from Mausoleum. No. Wait, what's the deal with membership card? Because it doesn't show up in the shop relic slot of shops, but I think you can only get it from shops. At least I've only ever seen it from shops. But I don't know. Maybe you can. I don't know what the rules are for that. But usually the shop-only relics show up in the rightmost relic slot, and oh, maybe membership card does too. I thought that membership card showed up in the middle, but maybe it does show up in the right. That would be so weird if you could get shop-only relics from the Mausoleum. Let's see. So it's hard for us to spend all our energy on turn 1 because we have a bunch of it and we only draw 5 cards. So I think Writhe is too bad to pick here. We can exhaust the Writhe, so we're not too concerned with it sticking around. But I think we're gonna pass it. We are a little bit short on relics too. Let's see, what relic would be really good? Is there a relic that does stuff when you exhaust a card for Ironclad? Bag Prep would be nice. I'm trying to think of exhaust synergy relics for Ironclad, and for some reason all I can think of is Tough Bandages, which is a silent relic. Not at all relevant. Oh, Charon's Ashes, that's the one I'm thinking of. So yeah, we could get Charon's Ashes. I don't know. That's like... Dead Branch would be huge, that's true. No, I think we leave. If we had enough money to remove it, I would do it, but I don't. Spot weakness is not useful here. Hey, subsistence farmer. Maybe this is like a social experiment to subsistence farmers testing me to see how little of a chat message I will respond to. Apparently the answer is one single character. Dark Embrace Disarm seems good. Let's draw a card. Now that I know I'm in an experiment, I feel like I should moderate my behavior. Well, these defenses cost 3, and I don't like that. Is Alt 255 like the beep code or something? We're drawing an ink bottle card here. It's going to be one of these two. I can't for the life of me figure out why the alt codes are not just like the ASCII table and then you type the number of it. I don't know why that's not the way that works. Let's play this strike and see what we get. Okay, we got the disarm, that's great. That draws us a card too. It's going to draw us this card. So if we don't want True Grit to hit that card, then we shouldn't play disarm. But we don't want True Grit to hit disarm, so that's way more important. Alright. Defend versus spot weakness. Oh wait, we can play both. Conflict resolved. We can power through Fiendfire. Is that lethal? I think that is likely to be lethal. Let's just do it and find out. It's not lethal, but it does block out. Okay. Whatever. Come at me, bro. Ink bottle for next fight says defend bash. Okay. These are all terrible. I guess I could take a second True Grit, but I'd like to upgrade the first one more than I'd like to pick a second one. I guess those two options are not specifically in opposition here, but things don't have to be in specific opposition for me to say them out loud. Let's see. Yeah, what's the best upgrade in the game? I think True Grit is part of the conversation. I think it's probably not the answer, but best upgrade in the game. Empty Fist Plus is nice. That's thinking very small though. Alpha Plus is good. Ooh, what about what's it called? After Image. After Image Plus seems pretty important. Alright, so let's do these things. Oops. I'm gonna restart the fight to get 3 block. Mistakes were made. I think we're just going to trigger a strike for the block. Okay. I guess I'll draw a card, sure. Why not? Fiendfire. We're losing Sword Boomerang, but I think that's okay. Oh wait, we're getting hit for a bunch here. I guess Fiendfire is our most block too. We can't ever draw a 0-cost card, but we can draw a Sunder's Bane, which blocks for 3 or 4. We did. I'm okay getting rid of all these cards. Let's just spot weakness second wind. We're already blocked out. Let's get rid of this fungi beast and get stronger. Power through second wind is cool. Get spot weakness 2. Oh, we have a 4-card deck. I guess we should stop getting rid of stuff. We did it. We reduced the deck down to nothing. We have 4 energy, so we can just do that every turn. Okay. All right, that's fun. Inferno Blade and Uppercut both pollute the deck, which is clearly unacceptable. So does Blood for Blood, in addition to being a bad card. Inferno Blade does say Exhaust on it, so that's kind of nice. Uppercut is upgraded too. Maybe I should consider this further. While lifting weights. Sir Animal rescues me from having to edit the spreadsheet. You did 2 rewards, and even though I only ever exercised once, I'm not going to edit the sheet, because when I exercised the previous time, I forgot to update it. There you go. Uppercut. Now I have to edit the sheet, darn. Almost got away with it. Yeah, I think we're skipping all these. I think we're good enough. We've got a really powerful little thing going, so let's leave it alone. Alright, looks like we're getting an upgrade here. Seems like we should upgrade Power Through and Second Wind, since they're part of the tiny deck. True Grit also wants an upgrade. Disarm wants an upgrade. What to do? Everybody thinks True Grit. I mean, you're not wrong. Power Through the Wind, yes. The true gift is chat. That's what I think. All right, we'll do True Grit. I mean, you're right. You know, we can get rid of strikes with it and stuff. We only get like 5 extra block if we do Power Through, so there's no way that's worth it. Attacking right off the bat. It looks like we could have actually used 7 energy this turn. Oh wait, no we couldn't. Well, unless Struggle draws second wind. I guess let's see what we are drawing. Spot weakness. Okay. 1 card is getting skipped. It's not Spot Weakness. It's not Feel No Pain. Is it Dark Embrace? Power Through Defend seems pretty good here. They are hitting us for 22 plus 21 is 43. We can only block for 28. So it seems like blocking for the maximum is probably prudent here. Alright. Strikes kill Sneakers. So we're skipping either Disarm or Bash, and we're always skipping Fiendfire. I'm going to mute myself for a second so I can eat a delicious brio that my wife made. See you later, Sir Irritable. And we're back. I think I'll do exercise as well. Mostly thinking about Burning Pact here. There was a time early in the run when we thought we were going to like turbo with anger when we found the Nunchaku, but that's pretty clearly not what we're doing. And in fact, that would make the deck dramatically worse because we try to get down to like a 6-card deck, and then anger would blow it up to a deck of 20 angers really quickly. Is Burning Pact good, though? I think it is good. It's mostly helpful, I think, while we're trying to, like, find combo pieces. Is 44 enough health? Can we get through it? I'm gonna go to the bathroom and be right back. Okay. What card would we even upgrade, I think, is the problem here. We've got pretty good upgrades. Maybe it's Burning Pact? Burning Pact and Disarm both seem good. Disarm is basically useless in the upcoming fight. We could Smith Second Wind. Second Wind gets played a lot. Yeah, I think we need to bump Second Wind a little bit so that Feel No Pain Second Wind actually blocks a Hyper Beam. I think that's the plan. All right. Darn. Spot weakness. Why do you do it? let's go ahead and drink the power pot too. Just in case it's a demon form, basically. We have some statuses, so fire breathing does damage. Not like a ton of damage though. Barricade, it's pretty good. If we're gonna play it for 0. Pretty interested in barricading. It does prevent us from turning on Red Skull easily, but it's worth it. If we want to land those disarms, we're going to have to hit him a lot of times with dash. I don't think that's entirely feasible. So I think we're probably just hitting Orblings with disarm. Let's see, currently they're stealing Fiendfire and one of the uncommons. So there's like a 1 in 3 chance they steal Feel No Pain. Which would be pretty disastrous, I have to say. Yeah, stealing any of these is quite bad. So I would love to kill one this turn. If I draw cards, I could actually draw Fiendfire, which would make them steal 2 of the 3 cards, which would be even worse. So that's a bit of a concern. But I'll draw cards anyway. We could power through Second Wind to draw a ton of cards and build a bunch of block. Since disarm isn't good, I guess we just chuck it in the fire, right? Okay, so now we can just develop Feel No Pain. Can't steal it if it's not in the deck. This one's gonna steal Sword Boomerang. Yep. It's pretty bad. So let's kill him. We need that back. We've got a sad kitty. Oh no, come here. She's inconsolable. There's nothing I can do. Let's do Power Through Second Wind, mostly for fun. Partially for profit. Okay, we have 100 block. Seems like that should be enough to block out big attack. I guess we'll use Spot Weakness. It's time to start that. We are down to a 10-card deck. We could True Grit away a strike. We're going to eventually run out of opportunities to get rid of strikes because True Grit's going to go away. Kind of depends on how desperate we are to get Sword Boomerang back. Yeah, okay. Wow, nobody's attacking? Gross. Alright, we'll save Sword Boomerang from Second Wind. And then I guess True Grit, another strike. Oh crap, did we just run out of offense? I think Bash might be our only attack left. Yeah, we can't get rid of Bash. We have to use it to kill this Orbling. Yikes. I guess I'll power through Second Wind. I guess it's down to a 5-card deck, so we're going to draw Bash every turn. Oh, it's a 6-card deck, so we'll draw Bash most turns. But not this turn. I guess we can just shrug it off to draw it. So we shrug it off, Spot Weakness, and Bash. We're blocking this out for Cyber Beam, which is just a fun thing to do. If we use the Vulnerable Pot, we could kill him right now. Killing him right now is not really a huge priority, I don't think. What Hyper Beam? Let's see. How do we do this? I kind of want to play Power Through Second Wind to to get more block for the next Hyper Beam. But I don't want to lose most of these cards. Maybe I don't care. I guess I don't need Trigger It or Shrug It Off anymore. I need to save Spot Weakness, but that's the only one. Okay. Give me that Sword Boomerang back. Yeah. Okay. So now we're down to very small deck. Has Bash in it for some reason. I guess we're going to add that Fiend Fire back in. That's going to be kind of awkward. Oh. Okay. I guess it doesn't one-hit the Orbital. That's fine. We could go down to a 2-card deck with Fiend Fire if we wanted to. It's just Spot Weakness, Sword Boomerang. Seems kind of silly. We could play Power Through Second Wind to get more block, or we could play Bash to do some damage. I think Bash. Eventually, maybe we peel off the artifact charges. We're almost there. Sure. I'll go ahead and play Power Through to generate some block, since we got an extra energy. Give Second Wind something to do. Power Through Second Wind, Sword Boomerang seems good. Should we use the Vulnerable Pot? No, I think we're winning this fight pretty easily. Doesn't seem like we're going to take any more damage. Okay, should draw a Sword Boomerang and kill him next turn, most likely. Feed Fire plus Sword Boomerang is lethal, right? Oh, just Feed Fire. Okay, that works. 144 block, that's quite a bit for an Act 2 boss. Juggernaut seems good. Wow, these are all amazing. Holy crap. Wow. I kind of wish that Barricade was in the card awards, given how awesome it was in the fight. I don't know if I'd pick it, but that was incredible. It seems like Juggernaut's really good. How much damage is Juggernaut going to do a turn if we're doing a Power Through Second Wind turn? So that's one, and then Second Wind it's going to exhaust just the wounds. So it's going to block 4 times, because it blocks itself and when it exhausts the wound. So we end up blocking, proccing Juggernaut 5 times. So it's like 25 AoE damage while we block. It's actually maybe not that relevant, because Spot Weakness Sword Boomerang is really doing a lot of damage already. So we're kind of adding a second damage scaling vector, which I'm not sure we need. Reaper would give the deck a little bit more consistency. We are strength scaling, so any strength scaling Reaper deck has definitely got some merit. So we would get to full health a little bit more frequently. You think Juggernaut's better than Reaper? I mean, Juggernaut's amazing with this deck archetype. The problem is just like a lot of Feel No Pain decks, I feel like, are built around their block scaling, but this has both block block and strength scaling. So I really don't feel like we need more damage scaling. A problem with both Juggernaut and Sword Boomerang is that they're untargeted. So in the Act 4 Elite fight, you could have trouble killing one of them specifically, which is somewhat problematic. Reaper is also kind of weak in the Act 4 Elite fight. I think the place where Reaper shines the most is in the Act 3 boss situation, right? Because the Act 3 boss can definitely kill a character, mostly just because like you spend a bunch of resources on the first one and then the second one kills you. It's like frequently the way you die to Act 3 bosses. And Reaper says like, okay, so you get to heal off the first Act 3 boss, so you're never like totally tapped out by the second one. I mean, sometimes you are, but Reaper gives you some additional resources to play with at least. But I think it's Impervious here. I think Impervious is great. It says Exhaust on it. I think that once we're doing the combo, we're fine. We're gonna block for 100 every turn and kill people. But Impervious helps us get there, and that's really important. All right, we are very short on relics, so Calling Bell would be great. Also, we have a multitude of ways of dealing with the curse, so that's not really a big concern. Mostly Second Wind. We are fairly sensitive to deck quality since we have such a slim deck. But we have lots of ways of filtering through the curse, so Calling Bell's quite good. Fusion Hammer's okay. I don't see us needing to smith a lot. We have a lot of upgrades already. So I think our highest priorities at Act 3 rest sites are going to be resting and recalling. So that could be fine. Blackstar it's a little bit late for. I prefer Blackstar as like a Niao benefit or an Act 1 boss. As an Act 2 boss, it's only going to get you like 3 relics. And if you want 3 relics, why don't you just take a Calling Bell right now? So I think that's exactly what we're going to do. I think we're just going to take Calling Bell now. We don't really need the 5th energy, especially with the Lantern. We've already got a little bit of extra energy. And then Shocking. So we'll take Calling Bell. And hope we get some good stuff. Maybe Charon's Ashes. Ooh, Birdface Urn. Yeah, these are great. Very much worth it. A little bit of extra dex. That helps the Power Through Second Wind generate, I guess, just 3 more block, but that's something. True Grit and Impervious to get there. Gremlin Horn's really, really good against Reptomancer, which is a pretty important fight. And we do have several powers, so this gives us a little bit of marginal healing per fight, which is really nice. Okay, Awaken one first. We've only got 2 like must-play powers. Feel No Pain, Deep Embrace, so we're not too poorly set up for that. I would like another Feel No Pain, but it's not really how the game works. Probably gonna go through these question marks, try and get Mind Bloom or something. Maybe go through this this fight. Go to a shop. I guess we're choosing between a shop and a fire here, so maybe we'll choose the fire. Hard to say now. But we definitely need to go through the Mega Elite, so let's start with that. Alright, Orb Walker. Where is he walking to? Nobody knows. It's mysterious. Spot Weakness helps set up for the inevitable Fiendfire Lethal. Let's shrug it off and see if we're drawing Fiendfire right now. Nope. Let's have True Grit block out. And I guess play Feel No Pain probably. Disarm's not particularly good in this fight. Burning Pact can draw a bunch of cards and then get the Fiendfire Lethal. There's Fiendfire. It does 60 damage, which is quite a bit. And does a lot of block as well. And then this is lethal. Okay. Healed for, what was it? 7 on the fight? It's pretty nice. Second copy of Sword Boomerang is an option. I don't know. Seems like the 1 is enough. let's see. If we have 4 energy, and we had 2 sword boomerangs, that does make me scale twice as fast. Getting 8 times your strength and 4 strength a turn. Sounds like it would kill pretty quickly. I think no. I think we need to get like the powers and block and stuff before we worry about killing people. Winding Halls. Madness are not bad. If we're trying to have a tiny deck, then madnessing one of the cards in that deck is pretty insane. They also say exhaust on them. It's very bad if you are up against Time Lord, and there's a 50% chance we're up against Time Lord. We also lose 14 health, which is not amazing. But we are at full health right now, and we heal with Birdface Urn and Burning Blood every fight. So we're definitely losing out on a little bit of value that we could try and reclaim by turning that health into madnesses, if we want the madnesses. What's the best madness target? Probably like Second Wind or whatchamacallit, Spot Weakness or something. Hey, PR Risk AE. Thanks for the follow. I think probably Risk is the part of your name you want pronounced, and PR and AE are like clan affiliations or something. Maybe you're Risque. Madness can also hit like Impervious and Fiendfire. There's a couple of expensive things to hit. It seems like it's a bunch of junk that we can draw, though. It costs 14 health. And like drawing those instead of like Dark Embrace and Feel No Pain in the heart fight is like catastrophically bad. So I think we're just going to lose 4 max HP. Alright. We don't have Omamori, so we can't take Normality. We do have Curse Mitigation, so we could try and like True Grit them and Second Wind them and stuff. If we had a use for 999 gold, then maybe. But we're not really going to a shop anytime soon, and I'm not carrying 2 Normalities through a Mega Elite fight unless there's no other option. We get a ton of healing per fight with the Burning Blood and the Birdface Urn, so this is basically off the table. We also have most of the upgrades we need, so this is a terrible idea. This is usually the best one, and it is this time as well. Hexaghost is by far the worst option for this, because he hits you really hard on turn 2. He's not attacking. This is a disaster. Alright, 8 times 6. That's a lot. Let's see if we can block it. I think most block is going to be True Grit, Double Defend, unfortunately. I guess if we Dark Embrace True Grit, we could draw Power Through or Disarm. So I guess there's 4 hits if we count Second Wind. 4 hits out of a 9-card deck, and we're only giving up 6 block to try it. Oh no, we're giving up 6 block to play the Dark Embrace. Okay. Darn. Okay, I guess we take a bunch of damage. Stupid Hexaghost. Drat. Well, Disarm is super good. A little bit late. Okay. I guess the power through portion of that was kind of unnecessary. Oh wait, I needed to save power through from getting discarded. Sure. Alright, we're down to an 8-card deck. Almost there. I guess we just care about the damage more than we care about getting the deck done. Alright, well you better give me something good. For this rare relic, taking 30 of my health, or I guess 20. Oops, that was a bad ink bottle setup. Champion belt, cool. Sentinel Plus is kind of an option here. That's a lot of energy. We have a True Grit and a Second Wind that get rid of it. And Burning Pact. Burning Pact in particular is quite good. Drawing 2 cards and gaining 3 energy is really strong. Fiendfire also gets rid of it. Yeah, I think in Dark Embrace decks, a single copy of Sentinel Plus is pretty appropriate. Alright. Freaking Champion Belt. Can't believe it. Let's see, which cards are good here? With the Champion Belt, if we get Sadistic Nature, that's actually a decent amount of damage. Sadistic Nature is also pretty pickable because we have Birdface Erd, so it'd be 2 healing per fight. We need like a Shockwave or something to go along with that, but we do have like 2 Disarms. It's not out of the question. The 2 Disarms are not very convincing though. We really need like a repeatable source of weak for that to be good. But actually you can get a repeatable source of weak from this as well. So if we got both, what's it called? Daze? No, that's a different card. Well, whatever. The colorless card that does AoE weak when upgraded, and Sadistic Nature. I think I would pick both. The 10 health doesn't cost too much, given the marginal healing. Although we are about to go fight a Mega Elite. Let's go for it. These are all probably bad. Violet says Exhaust on it. Trip is not the best one for... Oh wait, it is. We want the Vulnerable. Vulnerable gives us weak. Huh. So Trip is actually pretty decent. Panache? We could trigger Panache every turn, but I don't know if it's worth it. We got Secret Technique and Violence, so we have lots of tutoring possibilities. Why is there no Violence for skills? It definitely seems like Violence is like a counterpoint card. It's like Violence and Negotiation or something. Violence and Diplomacy. Let's see, what are the other opposites of Violence? Maybe that's why it's not a card. Maybe there's just no obvious opposite. So Trip is pretty tempting with the Champion Belt. We do already have Bash, so we're not like completely out of ways to apply Vulnerable. Oops, I should have someone. I think this one's out. I don't think we really need Violence. We don't need to tutor for attacks, and even if we did, we would get like Strikes, Bash, and a Sword Boomerang. Not very impressive. Enlightenment's bad. Dramatic Entrance is bad. So this one's out. This one is probably Trip. If we'd picked Juggernaut, maybe Finesse would be good enough, but we didn't, so it's not. I don't think Panache is necessary. 10 AoE damage is just not as much as Sword Boomerang. And it chunks up the deck, although it is 2 marginal healing. Mayhem is also 2 marginal healing. What's the worst case scenario for playing a random card from the top of the deck? The card could be Second Wind, and we could have like Disarm in hand, so that's totally out. Secret Technique. can draw us disarms or spot weaknesses, or like second wind or power through. That seems probably good enough. So I think maybe like Secret Technique and Trip here. Trip is a little bit sketchy. Secret Technique is almost certainly good enough. I don't want to lean too hard into Champion's Belt. It's just not a very good relic. It is really nice to be able to weaken the heart, though. Particularly on the big attack. I guess on both attacks, it's nice. Alright, I think I will take Trip. Cost 0. Falling. This event totally destroyed me in my previous run. I had a falling event as Watcher that forced me to give up either my only copy of Tantrum, a Deva form, my only copy of Deva form, or one of my 2 copies of Omniscience. And the whole deck was trying to like play Omniscience, into Deva form and Mental Fortress. And so just losing any of those cards was crushing, because like Mental Fortress totally depended on the Tantrum to be able to switch stances, and that was like all of my block. And like without Deva form, the whole deck didn't work because I couldn't like do the Deva form combo turbo thing. I should have given up the Omniscience because I had 2 copies of it, and it wasn't like playing the Mental Fortress twice wasn't like a huge deal. Mostly it just was an extra way to play Deva form on turn 1. But yeah, I ended up giving up the Tantrum and losing. Pretty clearly the defend here. Dark Embrace is way too good. Sword Boomerang is my only strength scaling, so defend is gone. And that's fine. Alright. Riptomancer is pretty scary. We don't have a ton of time to scale up before turn 2 is here, and we're getting hit for 70. So ideally we should try and kill a dagger this turn. We have Vulnerable Pot, we have Spot Weakness, so I think 2 strikes would do it. Actually, just Spot Weakness and 2 strikes would do it, we don't need the Vulnerable Pot. So in order to guarantee we get 2 strikes, we want a Dark Embrace Burning Pact to draw 3 cards. There's only 1 strike left, but we could draw Sword Boomerang or Fiendfire too. Is Vulnerable Pot plus Spot Weakness enough to kill this one? So this goes up to 11 damage and then gets an extra 5, so it goes up to 16, so no. Although when we apply the Vulnerable, we do apply 1 weak as well. Ooh. Okay, so let's draw a bunch of cards. Alright, we got ways to block now, but no way to kill daggers, unfortunately. Alright, so be it. Alright, we're gonna need Sword Boomerang to pull off a miracle here. Sword Boomerang Strike is decently likely to be able to kill a dagger. We should definitely trip this one though, right? If we trip him, does it change anything? Because he still needs 2 hits from Sword Boomerang or 1 hit and a strike, right? So I don't think it changes anything. So maybe we should focus a different one? Yeah, because if we trip, like, this one, then 2 hits from Sword Boomerang kills him, too. Okay. And Sword Boomerang, make me proud. Okay, that's acceptable. We got this one. And Bash can kill this one, too. Alright, we got there. Okay, we have 3 energy now, which is insane. So we can, like, Feel No Pain, double disarm, which blocks for 8 and reduces 5 strength, so she'd go down to 34. We could also Vulnerable Pot her just to get the weak. Alternately, we could Feel No Pain, disarm True Grit, which still blocks for 8 with the Feel No Pain, but blocks for an additional 10. So we get 8 more health this turn, although we we're missing out on 2 strength down. Seems like 8 health this turn is pretty valuable. We are also drawing with Ink Bottle here, so it's possible our plan changes, particularly if we draw Sentinel. Sentinel into True Grit would be a big change. So let's play these 2 that we're sure we're playing. Ooh, we did get Sentinel, wow. Okay, then I guess we'd play it all. Ooh, I should have played the, I didn't realize I was drawing a card. I should have played the, whatchamacallit? Disarm before the defense, so I could have played Shrug It Off and potentially drawn Second Wind or Fiendfire or something. I think I will use the Vulnerable Bot just to get weak here. Blocks for 9. Alright, we can Secret Technique for a Power Through and then Power Through Second Wind, which should block for a lot. Gonna have to play this Spot Weakness too. Trip applies more Vulnerable, which applies more Weak. And then Strike kills the dagger, I guess. Okay, so it looks like we're out of the woods here. We're done with the hard part of the fight. And now we're just finishing up. Fiendfire does 24 times 5 if we play the Power Through. 24 times 5 is over 100, which is all we care about. Okay, we got there. Darkstone Parap is terrible. Second True Grit, second Pummel, or Replacement Flex, or Skip. Yeah, I think it's probably Skip. I don't see any huge appeal to picking any of these cards. Yeah, we don't have any artifact charges for the flex. We've already got a copy of True Grit, and this one is unupgraded. And Pummel's kind of nice, but it only goes once. Might as well just take another Sword Boomerang if I wanted to do that. And I was offered one, turned it down. Nothing has really changed since then. Let's go to this fire. Are we resting here? We could rest here and then like recall there. Seems pretty safe. Are there any upgrades we need? Trip turns into AoE, which is nice, particularly for the Act 4 elites. Worth calling out, so the Trip Champion's Belt thing only works if the Trip actually applies. So if somebody has 2 artifact charges, Trip only removes one of them. If they have 1 artifact charge, it removes it, but does not apply the debuff. It does not apply the weak, I should say. It does not apply either debuff. Secret Technique actually gets worse when we upgrade it. We kind of want it to exhaust. Disarm wants an upgrade. But not too badly. It is nice against the heart. We can upgrade Trip or PW. I don't know what PW means. Power Through, maybe? Yeah, I think we just rest. We get full value out of it. Resting and recalling, I think, are our priorities for this this act. All right. Feel No Pain seems good. The other ones don't really need to get played, but I will play 2 of them for a bottle. Okay. Well, this is pretty scary. Let's draw some cards, I guess. Trip makes him weak. I could skip spot weakness for 6 block. No, I think I'll just play it. 6 health, I should say. See, that's why we rested. Got it taken away immediately. He's only attacking for 9 here, so pretty easy to dodge that. He is not invulnerable, so we could easily Fiend Fire here. We can't get rid of Second Wind, though, or else we lose, so let's not do that. We could Secret Technique for Sentinel, and then Second Wind, and then Fiend Fire. But we're losing Impervious if we do that. We just don't need to really panic that hard. We're just striking this turn. Kind of silly, but we've already blocked. Okay. So now it's Spot Weakness, Fiend Fire. That loses the Sword Boomerang. I guess we just Spot Weakness, Sword Boomerang, Fiend Fire. Kind of silly to Fiend Fire while he's intangible, but the main function of Fiend Fire in the deck is to exhaust stuff. So I'll just let it do that. And I guess I'll keep some vulnerable on him. Oh, I should have played the defend for Ink Bottle. Forgot. Alright, Impervious is saving us this turn. Would I rather exhaust these cards or 2 of these? I think 2 of those. Let's thin a Strikeout since we have limited opportunities to do that. Alright, we're down to a 10-card deck, or 11, I guess. Sure. That's always getting played. Do we still need to keep the Trip? Is that a card we want to keep, or do we just Second Wind this whole hand? Let's just chill a little bit. If we exhaust a card now, we can't play Sword Boomerang when we draw it. And we kind of want to play that next turn with 13 strength. So I think we'll just play the Trip. Ooh, Ink Bottle. That was a bad 50-50. Shouldn't have done that. Okay. Alright. So Bash Sword Boomerang seems good. We can't block enough this turn. I guess Trugit draws 2 cards, or draws a card. Blocks for 14. But maybe we just have lethal. So the max damage is Spot Weakness, Bash, Sword Boomerang. This currently does 31. It'll do approximately 6 more damage with Spot Weakness. So it goes to 37. And this does 24. It'll do approximately 6 more. So it does 30 times 4, which is 120. 120 plus 37 is not enough. So I guess we're trying to block. If we think we've got enough strength, we could Second Wind exhaust Spot Weakness. Makes me feel a little bit icky to lose that, but I think we do have enough strength. So I'll do that. Okay. He's not even attacking this turn. I'm all ready to power through Second Wind, but it's not necessary. Let's get rid of the Trip. And we're down to a 6-card deck. I guess we don't need Burning Pact anymore. Okay, and then we should be able to, like, Sword Boomerang, shrug it off, Sword Boomerang next turn and kill him. Unfortunately, get bad procs on both. Oh. Well, I guess that could happen. That's true. Art of War. I guess I'll take it because there's no real alternative, but it doesn't really do anything. Berserk is bad. We don't want to be vulnerable. We don't have any way to purge our vulnerability. In fact, do we... I think that would make us weak, too. Because we're applying it to ourselves, right? I would assume that's how Champion Belt and Berserk interact, so that would be utterly horrible. Havoc says exhaust on it, but we can't pick it because it could interact poorly with, for example, Second Wind. So we're skipping here. Iron Wave is terrible. This choice doesn't matter. Oh, great. Bag prep. Let's recall. We're pretty healthy right now, so might as well. We could try and save money for the Act 4 shop and go to an extra fire. We're going to 2 fights and a question mark either way. So it's just fire or shop. We don't really need 2 more fires though. There's not really any valuable upgrades left. It's just like Burning Pact or Disarm or something. And if we go to a shop, we can like remove a strike, which is fairly important. Or we could buy Demon Form. Kunai. Wait, is Kunai really good? Wait, no, we don't play 3 attacks per turn ever. Kunai's bad. Okay. Dark Shackles is here. It says exhaust on it. You could use it for cheesing bosses. We're about to fight a bunch of bosses in a row. Seems amazing. It's hard to land on the Spire elites. It's interesting that we could get Brimstone. We get Brimstone and Philosopher's Stone and do the buffing your enemies combo. Seems really, really bad. Although gaining 2 strength a turn is not nothing. Maybe we just outscale people. We have a shot at a second Sentinel. I think Dark Shackles and card remove are certainly happening. I think the rest of it is probably not happening. Demon Form is kind of interesting, but it's very clunky. But we have a lot of energy on turn 1, and if we get a turn 1 Demon Form, we scale quite a bit faster. Our only strength scaling right now is the Spot Weakness. And against the Heart, Spot Weakness is sort of intermittently available, right? The Heart only attacks on 2/3 of turns. He spends the rest of the time buffing. So Spot Weakness is not always going to work, whereas Demon Form does always work. And we're 4 energy decks, so we can kind of afford Demon Form. Demon Form is always expensive, but... let's do this and that. Yeah, I think for 100 I will buy a Demon Form. We have quite a bit of zero-cost stuff now. Trip, Dark Shackles, Secret Technique. We've got the Sentinel trick we can do to play Demon Form. It is kind of bad against Awakened one, because it gives him 2 strength too, but I think it's good. It also gives us something to do with the next campsite. We can upgrade Demon Form. Oh hell yeah, I'll fight these guys. I want a Rare Relic. Shouldn't be too challenging. Turn 1 Demon Form. Seems nice. Secret Technique can go get us Power Through. Or like Dark Shackles or whatever we want. So it's probably like Demon Form, Trip, and like Feel No Pain, Secret Technique for something. That means we're skipping Spot Weakness. We have to block for 24 somehow. Maybe this is the energy pop. if we play Feel No Pain and Secret Technique, we're already blocking for 4. And if we go get specifically Dark Shackles, that blocks for another 13 for 0. 4 plus 13 is 17. Not quite 24, but we'd only take 5. Actually, we'd take less than that because of Trip. So Trip blocks for 4 here. They go from 12 to 8. So we would end up taking 1 damage, which seems fine. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. We'll do it on the one with more health. Let's see. We're tripping the one who we're not Dark Shackling, so we want to trip the one with low health. Okay. Why am I taking 4 instead of 1? I thought I was taking 1. Whatever. Okay. We have Feel No Pain, so second wind blocks for a bunch. We do not have Dark Embrace. We had it available, but we skipped it. Disarm's pretty slow for this fight. Pretty much always striking, I think. Second wind ends up blocking for 12 times 3, which lets us get hit for 3. True Grit blocks for slightly less than that. Alright, let's do that. Okay. Burning Bank, show me what you got. Impervious seems great here, but I guess I'll shrug it off first. We could get Fiend Fire, which would block for even more. No. Alright, they are scaling up, and we are not keeping up. Power Through Bash Fiend Fire is good. So we're killing one of them with that. And I don't know which one. So this does 18, so if we hit it on a vulnerable target, it does 27. 27 times 1, 2, 3, 4. 27 times 4 is 108. So this one would die. Maybe we just don't even need to bash and Fiend Fire the same target. Maybe just 18 times 4 is enough. 18 times 4 is 80 minus 8 is 72. It's enough to kill that one. And then we bash this one. He becomes weak too, so that's pretty nice. And vulnerable for the future. Is this lethal? 24 times 4, yeah. Okay. Thread and Needle. Not the best rare relic. Among the worst. Probably not the actual worst. I think, is Darkstone Periapter rare? It might be. Another shot at Pummel. This one's upgraded though. Upgrade is a pretty big difference. 5 times attack. Could help us get a little bit of an earlier damage cap against the heart. Clean out hallway fights a little bit easier. I think I'll take the Pummel Plus. We're at risk of inflating the deck size a little bit. Okay. Feel the Pain Dark Shackles blocks out this turn. Then we can do whatever else we feel like doing. Probably Secret Technique for the strength scaling thing. And I guess develop Dark Embrace and play Pummel. I guess I'll develop Dark Embrace and play Disarm. Pummel's more useful later when we have more strength. We could play Demon Form Impervious. That seems good. Let's play Impervious first because we draw a card. Okay. We're going to draw some, if not all, of these cards. So let's start doing that. We got Fiendfire Sentinel and Dark Embrace, so it's kind of a dream. Do we trip first, or no? Well, we're definitely going to power through first. I don't really need trip in the deck at this point. Let's kill you. This does 45 damage, so let's put it on you, and then hope Sword Boomerang kills you. Then we got Sword Boomerang again. Oh, we did a trick with Ink Bottle and a 10-card deck. Neat. There's no more powers left, so we can't get any more healing off Birdfacer, and we're done. Twin Strike would be extra strength scaling, which we don't need. Headbutt's unnecessary. Havoc is dangerous. Skip, please. Okay. Man, this Feel No Pain Secret Technique thing is coming up every fight. And it seems good. I think here we want True Grit since we have Sentinel in hand. Do we have True Grit in hand too? No. Spot weakness needs to happen. We got Shrug It Off. We got a lot of extra energy. Set Ink Bottle for next turn. Debuff the Spiker. Sword Boomerang is bad in this fight because of Spiker. Let's get the Exploder out of here. Dark Embrace is great. We can block out without Power Through, so we probably should. I don't think we can block for enough to play Sword Boomerang without playing Power Through. I guess we could just play Power Through and Sword Boomerang. I'd rather just kill Spiker in one big hit. Later. We can't draw any cards. We could just Fiend Fire. It does 48 damage, not enough to kill him. But it blocks for a bunch too. Blocks for 12. Draws 4 cards. Yeah, none of these cards are critical. Let's get rid of them. We play Demon Form. We take. Oh wait, we block perfectly if we play Demon Form. Let's do that. Always forget about Grid Needle. Alright. Let's start with Shrug It Off. And, just trigger the bash. Spot weakness works. Okay. Just scaling up and waiting. Do we have any strikes left? Oh, good. We do. I'll exhaust this just to draw a card. Because we're having trouble blocking for 24 this turn. There we go. Alright, so I think we're going to Sword Boomerang, even though it could blow up in our face here. Maybe that's a bad idea. Yeah, we don't need to. We can just strike him to death. So now we know exactly what Sword Boomerang is going to do. It would hit him twice. We haven't quite blocked for 30. But we have blocked for 27, so we would take 7 and then heal for 6 at the end of the fight. Actually, I guess if we do this, we heal the full. Okay. Whirlwind. It's good if we took the whatchamacallit, the Ancient Tea set and kept the 2 flexes, gotten down to a 5-card deck. That'd be fun. It's not what's happening at all. Second trigger I think is a no. It's unupgraded. Dropkick is actually kind of interesting. We have a trip and a bash, but I think no. It's just we don't need that. All right, we've gotten our recall and we're at full health, so I guess we're smithing. And it seems like Demon Form's the clear answer here. Actually, Dark Shackles and Trip both have really good upgrades. Trip becomes AoE, and Dark Shackles goes up to 15, which is nuts. But I think Demon Form's the answer. Okay. Well, we saved all our potions for the boss fight, and good thing we did, because we didn't find any more potions. Alright. We can get started on our spot weakness plan right away. Probably not playing Dark Embrace in the first phase. It's not super necessary. So let's draw some cards. Trip weakens him, which is great. And, okay, so we have to block for 17. We can block for 16 with 2 cards, and then play Sword Boomerang, I guess. Okay. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Be right back. Too much caffeine today. Alright, seems like landing a disarm on the first phase Awakened one is amazing. Let's do that. And then I guess Impervious needs to happen. Sitting us for 28 plus the 14. So we're going to use this. 28 plus 14 is a number. Specifically, the number 42. So I'll power through. Power through is a little bit dangerous since we don't have Dark Embrace, and we're probably not going to have Dark Embrace for a little while. But I'll do it anyway. Gotta save that health. Okay. There's another disarm. It's almost certainly happening. Fiendfire does 36 damage. That's enough to kill him. Doesn't draw any cards, but it does block for nothing, because we haven't played the other thing either. It doesn't seem great. Maybe we should go get a Shrug It Off instead. Okay. Hopefully we're saving the Dark Shackles for when we split him, so he goes into second phase with 0 strength. Actually, he might just go in with negative strength because of the disarms. I hadn't really considered that. Second Wind makes Fiendfire a little bit sad, but it does block out quite a bit. I guess Sentinel blocks out more by playing it than exhausting it, because we don't have Feel No Pain, because it's in the bottom of the deck. We could just bash and Fire Pot to kill one of them. Kill this one. But then there's no cards left for Fiendfire. Because we'd have to like second wind the Sentinel to get enough energy to Fiend Fire, and then there'd be 0 cards. Alright, yeah, I guess we just don't Fiend Fire. We're just second winding these and then bashing. Maybe we just Fiend Fire instead of bash. Get the bash out of the deck. Well, hits for 12, but that's enough. Okay. We do draw a card here as well. It's open for Demon Form, but I'll take this. Pummel does 30 damage, not quite enough to kill Cultist, which is too bad. Power through is happening. I think we need to Energy Pot just to defend. Energy Pot for defend Pummel. Oh, that did kill him. Okay, well that's great. Okay. Let's draw some cards, see what we got. Alright, Spot Weakness needs to happen, and then we can second wind away a wound and play Sword Boomerang. We lose True Grit. Is there anything else that needs to be True Gritted? No. Missing Dark Embrace, but that's fine. We weren't planning on playing that anyway. Darn, he keeps hitting me for 1. Hit me for 3 last turn and 1 this turn. So he's taking all my plated armor. What a jerk. Trip's always happening. Shrig's always happening. We don't want to second win the Dark Shackles. I guess I could Burning Pact the Strike. We still have Sword Boomerang. Yeah, that's okay. Now he's hitting us for 1 again. Alright, I think it's worth it to save Dark Shackles. It is, after all, just 1. Sitting us for 32, almost certainly taking our last plated armor. And we're going to skip Dark Embrace, because it's -8 health here. Okay. Time to start killing him. Okay. Seems fine. Getting there. Getting there. Up to 40 strength, so should be able to pull through this pretty strongly. That does a lot of damage. 45 times 4 is almost 50 times 4, which would be 200, but not quite. So it should be safe to play it without splitting him. Oh crap. How did I mess that up? I'm gonna Burning Pact to try and look for Dark Embrace now. Shoot. I had Dark Shackles. I could have Dark Shackles in the second phase. Oh well. Oh, he was vulnerable. Why doesn't it change the math on the card when there's only 1 target? That's irritating. Okay. Well, we found Dark Embrace, I guess. Should have Dark Shackles then. Probably doesn't matter. I guess we'll play a cards free bottle. Whatever. Show me the next boss. Is Donu Deka. Okay. I think we scale up faster than they do, so it's not too bad. We have a Sentinel, but no way to exhaust it. Trip is not going to hit, so we're probably playing Impervious this turn. So it's like Impervious, both attacks, and a spot weakness. And I guess Trip to peel off a vulnerable. I guess we want to draw a card with that. Demon Form. Lovely. Well, it sucks to miss that, but there's no way to get it now. Because nothing exhausts. Probably putting Trip on Deka. We're killing Donu first, so Deka's artifact charges are probably more relevant. Secret Technique can get us Power Through. Then we can Power Through Second Wind. Lose True Grit. Or we could just, let's see, if we Secret Technique for, no, because we can't Fiend Fire away the Second Wind, then we lose. So I think we just don't get to block this turn very much. Oh wait, no, what am I talking about? When we play Second Wind, we'll draw a bunch of cards because of Dark Embrace. Alright, we can't lose all these cards. We can lose the Disarms, they're not super important, but we can't lose the Burning Pact, because that's the last card that gets rid of Strikes, because we lost the True Grit. So we're going to have to Burning Pact before we Fiend Fire, which is fine, it just makes the Fiend Fire bigger. Yeah, we don't need Dark Shackles, that's not important for this fight. Okay. Oops, that was the wrong target. Darn it. Walking for 100. Alright, we can Burning Pact a Sentinel, or we could just Second Wind. Let's save the Burning Pact. Let's see, what do we need? Do we need it still? It would be nice to get rid of the Bash. And well, I guess we can get rid of Trip with Second Wind. We want a Sword Boomerang before we... Or actually, we want a Spot Weakness before we Burning Pact, because we want to redraw a Spot Weakness to scale. So we Burning Pact this Sentinel to generate a bunch of block, and then we generate a bunch of energy, and then we play Demon Form and Second Wind block. Seems good. I guess we Power Through too. Save the Power Through. Get rid of those artifact charges. Block for 84. Okay. We can Burning Pact the Bash, which is something I said I wanted to do. Spot Weakness is always happening. Let's do that so we can find a way to block. We could Second Wind the Trip. Trip's not super important. And I think we need it for block. Let's see, we're blocking for 12 per card. So we need to block, if we do 3 cards, we hit 36, he's hitting for 40, it's approximately correct. Okay. We are down to a 5-card deck now, so we're going to draw exactly the same hand every turn. Which is fine. Alright, so Spot Weakness. Wait, is Ink Bottle inconsistent? I feel like in this run, I've had a 5-card deck and played a card and then gotten that card back. But this time, that same thing happened, it didn't work. I had 10 cards in my hand when that happened the first time, so maybe that's important. It's very confusing. You can Power Through Second Wind to block. And Sword Boomerang for damage, I guess. I guess we're going to end up killing them both at the same time because we can't control our damage, but that's fine. Down to a 4-card deck. Don't really want to go any lower than that. We don't really need spot weakness anymore. I think we get rid of it for extra block this turn. Oh, was it? That makes sense. So just the classic cards being inconsistent with each other. Second win, we don't need spot weakness anymore. Although we don't need to draw 3 cards, right? I guess if we play spot weakness, we only draw 2 cards and there's 3 cards and we want to draw Sword Boomerang, so we'll just guarantee we draw Sword Boomerang. Alright, so we're down to a 3-card deck. Power 3 second win, Sword Boomerang. Seems fine. We are not blocked out this turn. So I guess I'll just play Power Through. So I guess the benefit of being a 3-card deck is you can play Power Through and still not, still be guaranteed to get everything. Which is kind of neat. And I guess we win. Okay, I think that was a perfect Donudeka. That's nice. Kapow! Act 4. Ooh, you are banned, my friend. Hey, what is the... Stop it. Get out of my chat, stupid bots. Okay. So we're in Act 4. We're near full health. Definitely not resting for 2 health. Burning Pact is a pretty big upgrade. Power Through gets 5 more block and gets played a lot over the course of a run. Dark Shackles is kind of useful, although there's no more split shenanigans we can do. Disarm's kind of nice for the heart. Yeah, I think it's between Disarm and Burning Pact. Trip's kind of nice for the Act 4 elite, but not really. Impervious, I guess, is also nice. Let's do Burning Pact. I think once we get set up, we're going to beat whoever we fight. And Burning Pact helps us get set up. Let's go for that. Okay. There's the Dolly's Mirror I optimized for earlier. Drat didn't have enough this time. Boy, we can't do hardly anything useful here. We could buy a Power Potion or a Thorns Potion. Thorns Potion is kind of good against the heart. It'll end up doing 90 damage, I would guess. Which is something. 90 damage is what percentage of the heart's health? He has 800, so 90 is like slightly over 10% of his health. That's pretty significant. Didn't realize it was that high. However, Power Pot could get us Barricade or something insane like it did last time. Panacea goes with the flexes that we don't have in the deck. That's true, we can only buy 1 potion. We're just off. 109. So it's either Liquid Bronze or Power Pot. Yeah, maybe I should have skipped that shop. I don't know, we didn't super need it, and you're forced into a shop in Act 4, so going into it with 100 gold is not a great option. I think we're just gonna go with the Liquid Bronze. I guess Panacea, let's see, what's the order in which the heart applies debuffs? Is it vulnerable first? Because if it's vulnerable first, maybe we should take Panacea. It's weak first. We don't really care about weak. Yeah, I talked about Liquid Bronze. I said it does about 90 damage. Gordian Gamers, the wiki disagrees with you. I just looked this up. It says it's weak first. Weak, then frail, then bolden is the wiki order. It's not to say that you're wrong, I'm just saying the wiki disagrees with you. Huh. That's interesting. Well, somebody should fix the wiki. Well, that does make Panacea quite a bit better. It says exhaust on it. I don't like being vulnerable. We don't really need the 90 damage because we scale up so quickly. Alright, we'll take Panacea, sure. Why did we get rid of the flex? Could have been so good. Okay, we can Dark Embrace Panacea to draw a card. We can Dark Embrace Fiendfire to draw a lot of cards. We also lose our Sword Boomerang and our Pummel if we do that. So maybe not the best idea. Impervious is probably how we're planning on blocking this turn. So why don't we start with Dark Embrace Impervious and see what we get. See where we go from there. Of course we draw a Demon Form. Panacea could draw a card. That card could be True Grit, and then we could exhaust the Sentinel and play Demon Form. Second one actually works too. We don't need that much block, but I would like to develop Demon Form. Okay. Oh crap! Demon Form is a non-attack card, of course. Drat. We could Secret Technique a Spot Weakness. It seems fine. So now our job is to get back to that Spot Weakness as quickly as we can, as well as the Second Wind, which is our main source of block. Seems like if we want to get back to something, we need to draw with that. I mean, we could restart the fight. I don't feel like it was that significant of a mistake. Maybe I'm wrong, but Disarms and Dark Shackles don't currently land. We're probably waiting on Trip and Bash to remove charges, or we're just removing them from the deck. So I think we're just gonna beat him up this turn. 30 damage is not much. Maybe we just disarm to remove an artifact charge. Pretty unlikely to redraw Dark Shackles next turn. I guess it could happen. No, actually it can't, because Shrug It Off True Grit draws 2 cards. It's 8 cards here, so we can't possibly shuffle. Although I guess if we play Disarm, we do draw one of the cards. I am a little bit worried about losing the Pummel. It seems like Pummel could be important. I guess this is never going to be... We're never going to redraw because we're going to have burns in there too. Right, that's fine. Okay. I did forget about the Dark Embrace draw from the whatchamacallit. Ascension. Okay. Need to block for a bunch here. Probably max block is Feel No Pain, Power Through, True Grit, Defend. That's all the cards in the hand. We could draw Trip, which won't apply Weak because they have Tangible. We could draw Shrug It Off, that'd be the most block. Be slightly more than Defend. So this and this are always happening. And then this is always happening. And then it's either Defend or the new card. And the new card's Defend, so... They are both Defend. I'll play the Trip anyway. I don't want to turn around, so it has to be his artifact charge, but... Doesn't really cost anything to play. Alright, now we want to turn around and can't, so maybe Shrug It Off will find a way. The way seems to be Fiendfire. We can't get lethal with it, unless Sword Boomerang hits him all 4 times, maybe. But it does draw 3 or 4 cards, depending on whether we play Sword Boomerang first. If we don't play Sword Boomerang first, do we lose? We still have a strike. We are running out of offensive tools. I guess the reason we would exhaust Sword Boomerang is to draw an extra card and gain an extra 4 block, which both seem like worthwhile pursuits. I think we're hoping to draw power through Second Wind. It's pretty unlikely that happens if we draw 3 cards. I guess it would also be fine if we drew like Trip Disarm or something. Dark Shackles. Alright, let's draw 4 cards. We did draw Second Wind power through, although they kind of have a spot weakness hostage here. So we can't get rid of it. Oh boy. Yeah, if we play power through Second Wind here, we like definitely lose because all of our strength scaling is gone. We're going to be stuck at 5 strength for the rest of the fight with only a strike for damage. We have a lot of block scaling, but I don't think it's good enough. Strike is free here because we have Nunchaku procced, so we're going to play that. Crap. But we're dying this turn if we don't block, so I think we have to power through Second Wind. And then just hope Bash Strike is enough to get us through the fight with 5 strength. That's not going to work. If we like spot weaken the Second Wind, we block for 24. Currently taking 20, 30, so we'd take 6 health damage. Yeah, maybe power 3 plus True Grit is, or power 3 plus, that's true, power 3 True Grit is probably good enough. So it blocks for 20. We still take 10, but we're taking 6 even in the other line. We draw a card, it could be Trip or Dark Shackles are both playable, although neither one does anything. I guess Trip is better, but yeah, okay, let's try that. Oh, I thought I was taking 10, but apparently I miscalculated because I took 0. We can remove the last artifact charge from him, or we can not turn around and take extra damage. I guess we can Trip Bash, or we can bash him and trip him. They both apply vulnerable, so, and I don't think we're putting both on Spire Spear, so we want to put the one that does damage on Spire Spear. So I guess we do this. Maybe we were supposed to put both on him and then Dark Shackles him. Dark Shackles does draw a card here. The card could be Disarm. We kind of want to land Disarm on Spire Spear next turn. I think we're just taking 17. I guess it draws 2 cards because of Ink Bottle. If it draws both Disarms, we could split them. We could just Dark Shackles on Spire Spear? No, that's pointless. It does block for a lot, though. I really don't want to lose 17 health or 19 health, so let's block, I guess. All right, and then I'll put that on him. Gee, we disarm, draw the last burn, block out, and give him permanent minus to strength. He's attacking for 40 next turn, isn't he? Oh wait, no, he's not. Yeah, he's doing his, is he attacking for 40? I don't remember. I don't remember what cycle he's on. Oh wait, we can tell by looking at the Spire Shield. So he just used the 99 block thing, right? So he's on the first turn of his cycle, so Spire Spear's on the second turn of his cycle, so he is about to use Burn Strike. Oh wait, no, he's gonna... Yeah, he's about to use Burn Strike. Okay, so next turn he's doing 20. So I think it's worth it to save the health here. No, I was wrong. Damn it. Spot Weakness does not draw a card. It does turn us around. Oh wait, he is hitting for... No, he's hitting for 4. Spot Weakness Dash Strike is not lethal. Spot Weakness Second Wind could draw True Grit or Power Through or Trip, which would all be good. Oh, Trip's great. Okay. I guess Bash is better than Strike. I was just trying to activate Red Skull. This has all been a setup. Okay, we've got 2 energy left. We could turn around and True Grit, or we could Power Through True Grit, are kind of the main options. I guess we could shrug it off and draw Trip. So Shrug, Trip, True Grit's probably the max block we can get. I guess we could also Shrug into Second Wind, but then we lose Power Through. Shrug could also draw Spot Weakness, so we would feel like we have to play that. I think we're just straight True Gritting. Oh crap, we're drawing a card anyway. Did we just die? We did. Crap. What happened here? We had a really bad sequence in the Spire Elite. We drew cards in a very poor order. The artifact charges really tripped us up. We did make some mistakes in the fight too. Definitely didn't play it perfectly. Drat. Yeah, no evolve, no second copy of Feel No Pain. The Feel No Pain was hiding in the bottom of the deck. Didn't get Demon Form on turn 1. We ended up losing Demon Form to a stupid Second Wind because I just wasn't thinking. Still feel like we should have won that fight though. I got pretty blindsided by it. Like, we were at full health. I didn't think it was going to be a big problem. How did we lose that fight? Pretty fun one though. We had we got to like 3-card deck several times, or I guess we got down to like a 5-card deck several times, and down to a 3-card deck again just once against Doni Deka. But yeah, really fun scaling with like the ideal turn was like Spot Weakness, Power Through, Second Wind, Sword Boomerang, and we just did that every turn. That was fun. Yeah, we didn't get there against the Act 4 elites. They forced us into making some really awkward decisions and throwing our resources away. I think getting a late Feel No Pain was really the problem. And honestly, like, if you get 2 copies of Feel No Pain, you're much less likely to have the one Feel No Pain being hiding in the bottom of the deck. So really the problem with the deck is we only had 1 copy of Feel No Pain, because we really depended on it for a lot. I guess the same could be said for Dark Embrace, but I never picked 2 copies of Dark Embrace unless I have a 40-card deck, so maybe we just picked too many cards. We added a lot of kind of iffy things, kind of from like in Act 3, right? Because Curse of the Bell was our last Act 2 card, but like Sentinel was kind of meh. Secret Technique was nice. I think Secret Technique is always good, because it just like thins the deck out. Trip was, I don't know if that was a good idea. Dark Shackles didn't end up paying off. Demon Form wasn't really necessary. Probably could have done without it. Pummel wasn't necessary. Panacea I don't think was necessary. Although we didn't get to the heart fight, so it was mostly designed for that. So if we just skipped all these cards, we would have had just a 20 card deck, and I think that probably would have been better for Spire Elites. But yeah, we just really needed two more copies of Feel No Pain, but a fun one nonetheless.